Okay, that was the first episode of Oshi no Ko. I don't think I've ever watched anything like that.
That was an experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything, though.
Yeah.
That was mesmerizing.
I think like 60% of the way through, I'm like, okay, there was some space, and I was like, okay, in the discussion, we're going to be like talking and breaking down, you know, Ai's character, like what potentially could happen going forward, you know. Fuck all of that, apparently.
Right, like that character doesn't even exist going forward.
Yeah.
And we got resolution to that character. We literally got introduced to that character's personality traits, deep struggles that we could have talked about. Oh, how could they grow in that? Or when are they going to say I love you to their kids, you know? But we literally got we got to see it all. All the struggle, all the work to then the final. And then we get to look back and see all the times that she did express that she loved them, even without saying it.
Absolutely great character.
Yeah.
The voice acting of her, and then the kids, of course, as well as the animation in like some spots were just like mind-blowing. Were like top tier, amazing.
At first I wasn't sure how I would like the eyes.
Yeah.
Because of how intricate they are and how crazy they are. But I think it grew on me. Like, I obviously thought it was pretty, but I was like, is this gonna, like, bother me if there's only one character that has these, like, pretty awesome eyes compared to everyone else's more, I would say, lifeless eyes in comparison? Yeah. But it didn't bother me. And I really did enjoy it. It didn't take me out of it or anything.
Oh, like, going through when the doctor, right, had the main had the interaction with the murderer, I didn't expect it to lead to a murder. I thought that it was just going to be like an interesting altercation of a crazy fan or the boyfriend or like father, whatever, and that was going to lead to something further down the road. I had no idea that it was going to get that crazy that quick.
As soon as he was walking outside in the dark, I'm pretty sure there was even some music that was playing that could possibly have lended itself to what was about to happen.
Yeah.
Bringing up the suspense. I had maybe 5% of an inkling of, oh, that's a possibility, you know? And then once we got to the cliff, I was like, okay. I was like, I think around like 80% that I was like, yeah, you're next to a cliff and you just chase someone that obviously doesn't want to get caught.
Yeah.
That's obviously a stalker of some sort. And you caught them in the act of stalking.
Yeah. They never found his body.
And we see this like shot of the hooded figure almost, I think, in the forefront of the screen with the dead body in the background of the screen. And so I think we can kind of surmise that he moved the body, covered it, hid it.
Yeah.
In order maybe, I guess, to protect himself or something.
God damn, dude. I loved the whole aspect of lying. I thought that it was really, really interesting, and I think it had a lot of truth in it. Especially there are people who don't really know what feelings are real or not and how to achieve that. So their, path forward is, for lack of a better way to put it, fake it till you make it, and that you hope these lies that you're telling become real somewhere along the road.
I think it can be relatable to a few different types of people. The people pleasers.
Yeah.
The people who don't truly know who they are and what they want yet. There's a lot of people that I think could find Ai's character relatable to some degree.
Yeah. God, I have so many questions about this whole like reincarnation process too. Like, is Ai gonna be reincarnated into somebody? Is why was there time between Serena's death and Ai's and her reincarnation as Ruby?
All I know is that once we got the for sure that it was Serena, I was like, yes, I'm sold. You have sold me. If this was like a pitch, if they were pitching me the show, I would have said I was sold right in that moment that I got an inkling that it was Serena or it could be Serena. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, I feel like now the story that is going to be going forward is these two siblings. They need to be bonded together. One of them has this revenge plot, but I'm pretty sure the other one would probably agree with it.
Yeah.
And they're both only have each other, truly. And so I think that really feels good with how both of them viewed each other in their past life and the connection they had, the respect they had for each other.
I didn't know if I was going to like the route that they were playing it with the whole Serena resurrection thing because of I was like, oh, like in my mind, Ai's death was not on the table, so I didn't know how it was going to play out. But the fact that it happened and there's time skipped, then I am like so much more into it.
I like that you brought that up. I think that unfortunately killing Ai makes the fact that it is Serena and the Doctor reincarnated together even better, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I think I would have enjoyed seeing them grow up, but, wouldn't it have been... What genre even is this show?
I don't know.
Because if I continued to live, you would think that we were going to be watching a idol / slice of life type show.
Yep.
And nothing deeper than that, other than maybe the struggles that Ai goes through herself and dealing with past memories and past selves that you're still clinging to, which are still some deep topics.
Yeah. Trying to find true love or like what love actually is,
But it almost has more of a warm kind of tone to it. Could be more of a slice of life category.
Yeah.
And more wholesome. Even though there was a murder at the beginning.
Yeah.
But still wholesome.
I loved that Ruby and Aquamarine used the whole divine messenger bit.
That was the funniest thing.
Divine punishment.
Was so happy by that. They have a really great dynamic. So I'm just really happy with going forward with that kind of relationship.
I wonder if we're going to be seeing much of Miyako. I assume we are to some degree going forward. But like what her view of that whole divineness would ever be. I think like partly that's not even important to her or on the table anymore.
Yeah, I actually wrote down who is person taking care of them now.
Yeah.
Because I figured that they'd be raised by the president and his wife, his young wife, but she's the one.
Other young men.
Yes, she's the one that says, "Can I raise you?" And he was off drinking in the shot that we saw of him. And then also like it's not like his idol is alive anymore and he is the like head of the company, the director.
Yeah.
So, and then we get obviously the next thing that makes that more of a question mark for me is Aqua asking the director to raise him.
Yeah.
All Might and Deku, where it's, he goes home to his mom, but the director, like, raises him to be the best actor possible. Is it raise as in, I'm going to raise you as my child or raise you as a great actor?
Yeah.
It could be either of those things.
It could be, like, being that person in his life.
Yeah, being that father figure.
God, yeah. God, man, I don't know what it's going to... Like, I was writing down things like, I doesn't want to go overseas. Like, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's going to get touched on later. Like, oh, she, like, had that stipulation. I wonder if we're going to explore that. No.
Figured
it was a prologue. God, I feel like since it's a prologue, it's kind of difficult for me to talk about too many things in the story going forward.
Right.
I do wonder
like, guessing what it's going to be like?
Or just, like thinking of themes that are going to continue. Are we going to get the whole lying theme going forward, and are our characters going to use that in their own missions,
Well, we got such a heavy emphasis on the kind of cutthroat industry of entertainment.
Yeah.
And I believe, can maybe think that the theme of entertainment and that industry is going to continue on, especially if we're asking the director to raise us.
Yeah.
And both of them have such talent.
And Ruby seemed like she wanted to pursue the path.
And Ruby seems like she wants to, pursue that path. And lies are a part of that entertainment business. And how to get revenge. If your father is in the entertainment business, you gotta get in the entertainment business so you can even get a piece of his hair to do a DNA test.
I'm assuming that's the whole purpose of wanting to be raised by the director, right? Mm-hmm. Trying to have those connections. Yeah. Kana Arima, I believe the child's name was.
That we're now gonna see as a teenager.
I wonder
is that like a love interest?
I don't know, but it's going to be really interesting to see her perspective of if and how Aqua has changed after that event.
It was really interesting that we got a shot of her reacting to the news of Ai being murdered.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, why are they giving us this person reacting? Yeah. What does it mean for this character that we're seeing this like glimpse, this moment? How are they feeling, and why is that important to the story and the plot? So that intrigued me. And then now that we know that that character is going to continue on in the story.
Yeah. Couple of eyes lines. Like,
oh yeah, I wrote down some lines that I liked.
Man, before even thinking, she's already had an answer ready to please other people in a conversation. Like, before she even thinks, like, what the answer could be, she already has, like, the default answer ready to go that could please the most amount of people. She doesn't know how to even distinguish what a real feeling would be from a fake one. I was like, oh my god, dude, you're speaking to my soul. Like,
to her, lies are the most exquisite form of love.
Yeah. Do you have anything?
Yeah, she said something along the lines of saying that they wanted something that was almost inhuman from her.
Yeah.
And honestly, I felt so bad for that little, like, I mean, that was one of my favorite, I would say, scenes and moments, is when she was thinking about that tweet about her and thinking about how, like, wow, they want me to smile, they want me to be this, they want something that's so inhuman, but then when I am almost inhuman, that they think I'm not real enough.
Yeah.
And then we get that moment of her seeing her kids cheering her on and that smile on her face.
Yeah.
And that was the first, like, instance that I thought of when she was talking about how she wasn't even sure if she said, I love you out loud, if it would be real. I was like, that smile on her face, reacting to her children cheering her on.
Yeah.
That was her love for them.
She said something about somewhere along the lines of ego boosting. It was some term like that, but then checking Twitter and, like, checking people's opinions and stuff. Man, we don't look at shit. And the very few things that we are sent, good or bad, like, it's hard to convey how much that can affect somebody's mental state. And I can't begin to imagine what it's like for people who actually are, you know,
in the limelight
and actually get that much attention. It's so easy to say literally the worst possible thing in the world to somebody online. And it's so hard to understand what that person actually feels reading it, you know, and what it does to them.
As Ruby was saying, it's just really easy. Like, the internet is just really messed up.
Yeah. The hardest thing for me was the truth of, like, the 24-hour news cycle in this sense.
And
like,
then
it was a few days.
The weather.
All the posters were changed.
Covered up her murder, yeah.
The advertisements weren't her anymore.
It felt too real.
It's so fucked, man.
I would say as I get older and I see it more and more, the more fucked it feels when I hear, like, it's like we could hear something horrible, like a murder today, and then tomorrow no one's going to be talking about it again. And whenever you, like, think about that person's still dead, their family is still grieving, they just died yesterday, you know, like, it's so messed up.
Like, the way that you can look, like, life itself's, like, really fickle, right? Like, there's so many people on the earth, and you only live so long, and there's so much importance that we give to life for one another, especially in real life, because, like, we only have the moments that we're here. But when we put somebody, or somebody is put on a pedestal for us, it seems like the higher that pedestal goes, the less real they are as a person, and the less consequential their actions and then death would be. And some fucked up, like, I don't, it's so messed up. And it, like, the thought of just being forgotten about, like this.
Right. I'm gonna jump onto you saying the word of, like, putting people on a pedestal. There's this idea of putting them as this person in your mind. And I want to take you back to a line that we had at the very beginning of the episode about how the doctor was superimposing Serena and I in his mind. And there was something that almost, like, it's not a bad thing, but it's almost still kind of similar to how Idol's fans kind of impose things onto this idol that they have to be a certain way that almost makes them inhuman. But then here we have this girl that was very real to the doctor. So real that he almost wants to keep her alive to him by cheering on this idol as if he's cheering on her and making them almost one person. And now he's going to continue his life with that person that he created. And it's not Ruby. It's who is it? Serena? Ruby? I? Who is this person?
I don't know.
If he's already superimposed Serena and I together.
I don't know what he feels if and when he finds that out, because it seems like he has a sole mission in life right now.
Of revenge.
And I think that this would definitely give him another thing to think about, but I can't imagine what it's going to be. there's so much growth in a character in this sense. Like, we were introduced to this full-fledged adult doctor.
Yeah.
And there's still been an insane amount of development on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we both thought it, but when I was bleeding out, it's like, oh, Dr. Hope. And then he said it, that there was no shot. Her injury was too bad. I wonder if that's going to ever come into play. Maybe he can get a good role as being a doctor on a show.
Oh, he could have like a drama role as being a doctor.
Yeah.
Dramas about hospitals are really popular. He could totally be in one of those.
Yeah.
There's just something about, I think a theme that's going to stay throughout is, and it's a very realistic theme to normal life and not just how we view idols and actors and celebrities, is imposing our desires onto other people in our real life.
Yeah.
You want them to be a certain way, and then the type of people that are people pleasers are often going to lose themselves in acting as the intention underneath the dialogue the director has written.
Yeah.
What is the director really wanting you to say? That's a people pleaser thing.
It is,
and
for sure.
That's what Aqua was doing in form of acting, that he was reading between the lines at the director's intention, but that's also imposing something onto someone else. To be the type of person that is willing to be imposed upon.
Yeah.
To be whatever someone else wants you to be, to fit their fantasy and make them happy. There's some real deep and like uncomfortable but realistic things that are happening and that I think are going to continue.
And is Aqua doing this for himself or for I, and
Serena,
for that memory of Serena?
Serena, I. It's like I isn't even, he never called I mom.
Yeah.
But Ruby did. And we know that I was not just I to him, I was Serena.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what would he do for Serena? I think is kind of the end of the day. And if he's so willing to kill his father for Serena, I'm going to take it down to the beginning of where it all started. What would change if he realized the person he was living his life with was Serena? Would he lose his plan for revenge because now he gets to live with this person that he wanted the revenge for in the first place?
Especially if it ends up affecting Serena in a different way. Like if his attitude and his outlook at life is inspired by revenge and motivated by revenge, and that negatively affects Serena.
Right.
Once he learns who Serena is, it could totally, mess with him.
All he wanted for Serena was to live a happy, extended life. And if he thought that his revenge play at all was ruining that happy life for her, he doesn't even necessarily have to know that it's Serena at the end of the day. He could, for Ruby, be like, I want her to be happy and I want her dreams to come true.
Ruby being like, I'm a mature woman. You should never ask a woman her age. I love it.
Only a child would say that.
Yeah. All right, we have 2 minutes left on the SD card.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so apologies. We'll probably talk about this episode a little bit, or this prologue a little bit more in the intro.
Hour 22 minute
next time. But thank you guys so much for watching this video with us. That was something. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't change it for a world. But after watching something like this, I'm like, oh my god, I need to process these
these feelings, these thoughts.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. Life itself's like really fickle, right? Life itself's like really fickle, right? Life itself's like really fickle, right?
Life itself's like really fickle, right?